Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Monday. Is this Friday yet? I want to do the weekend already. I'd be freaking out if it was the weekend, to be fair, because obviously I wouldn't have a video ready. But I have an idea for video ready, so it's just a matter of whether it's possible to execute on the video. Hey, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Montage Monday, here we go. Are you doing a lot of montage stuff? Is that why it's Montage Monday? All the animations? All the time. Hell yeah. Well, over the weekend, I was working on some stuff. That's what happens when I don't have a game. Instead of playing a game, I work on my game. Which is good. But I need to get myself a game. What do I have on my Steam list? I know I have Wukong, but I'm waiting for a sale. You thought something with montages that is Unreal related? An animation montage came to mind. Ah. What's on my list? Crisis Core Reunion. That's got on sale many times, and I've still never picked it up. Black Myth Wukong has never gone on sale. This is... What else do I have? Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm not interested in, unless I can remove that. Stellar Blade has actually never been on sale. That's another one that I have on my list. Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, Crisis Core. It's not many games. Oh well. I'll find a new cool game. I mean, they're gonna have to now be after Expedition 33. And I don't know what game can possibly go after that game. That's a tough act to follow. I heard they won already their first game of the year. Well deserved. But man. Yeah, I did some stuff in the game. I figured out why the why all my state trees were broken on Friday. I think it was Friday or Thursday, whenever it was. It was because they weren't linked to the gameplay tags of the actor. They were linked originally to the gameplay tags of the player. So I had to make a new custom thing to fix that. And in general, I fixed a bunch of stuff. I guess I'll just swap over and kind of show. I did a lot of bug fixing. I feel like Souls-like get a lot of fun with AI limit. I mean, I don't ever go after Souls-like specifically. The only Souls-like I've ever played is Dark Souls 2, 3, Dark Souls 2 I never finished, 3 I finished, and I played all of Elden Ring. That's the end of my Souls-like experience. By Souls-like, it is just Souls. It's actually just Dark Souls. I don't go out of my way for those games. I'm an RPG player, not a Souls player, if that makes sense. So a couple of things. First of all, new icon style. I also fixed the potion in general. So I have a new icon. See? Yep. Looking nice, looking nice. I've also fixed enemy spawning. Hey, look how many there are. I've a lot of damage on right now. I've fixed the XP bar progress. So underneath here, right, there's XP bar. That's fixed. You only play Souls-like if they're story intense. I mean, do you not play Elden Ring then? I don't know what, unless you consider that story intense. I also got the plugin to load and unload characters, and I've set that up. So as you can see, if we go fly over here, right, there's no characters anywhere around here. They're only within a radius around me in terms of spawning, and then despawning is a little bit further away. And I might add that same spawning setup to the dead bodies. Just unload those, because can, why not? That's for later. Other than that, right, we have the potions now works. So if I take a little bit of damage, I use the potion. It gets grayed out. I can hit these guys. And why is it not? Of course it's not working. Why is it not working? It's supposed to be going down. It was working before. Oh, it is. It was just I just increased the amount you need. So yeah. So now you can see it is going down. Oh, phew! It's all working. It's all working. So if I, the more I kill, there you go. You can see it's a little bit down. So yeah. Whew. And so eventually, I will kill enough mobs basically where I will regain the health slots, and I'll obviously add power-ups that will increase the speed that this regenerates, how much it heals, all that good stuff. So, yeah. But, that's kind of it. And the setup for the all the mobs, in terms of like loading and unloading, it's pretty simple with the plugin that I showed off on Friday. You haven't tried Elden Ring yet? You assume that it is just like direct Souls title, which aren't that much fun for you personally. I mean, it's very different. It's open world. Although there is like a path that if you want to be optimized, you can take. But it's definitely very different. Yeah, that Elden Ring is more for players like me. They're like RPGs. Story is still the same in terms of a Souls game. There is no story, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, there's a story, but nothing's explained. Like, unless you like go online and try to find out and watch videos of it. At least for the layman. If I go to enemy, love how the stones look. I mean, I take credit, but I didn't make them, so. Here it is. So basically, when it gets unloaded, it saves these variables, and then when it gets reloaded, it loads the variables, and then based off whether it's a reloading state or not, I tell it to load the variables it's saved versus just use the default ones. So relatively simple in that regard. And then we're good. For example, right, if I don't have, this is defeated. If I don't, like here, if I'm doing a reload character and it's not a boss, then reload the current health. Also, if it is a boss, then don't do the streaming. all that good stuff. It's not like the Code Vein or the other story-driven Souls games. I don't know what Code Vein is, but I assume it's a game. I'm assuming it's a Souls-like game. Other than that, yes, like I said, I updated the, look how nice this icon is. This is still, I set it up basically procedurally. It's not like I created like all of this stuff, but like, look, it's you know, rounded corners. It has in border. I mean, it's nice looking. I can even change the color of this, of the border, if I so wish. And I'm going to be swapping out all the icons for this, including the ones in the top here, for that same style. So we have those here. But the thing I wanted to show with that, anime style Souls game made by Bandai Namco and From Software. Oh, interesting. From Software made an anime style Souls game? Huh. Cool. I don't pay attention that close, as you can tell. But I want to show that if I take a look at my original cooldown, this is the cooldown widget, right? Which is the one that appears here in the top left. That's the same widget. And this one's doing the clockwise thing. Versus just now it's just a straight up and down, which is a lot more clean. I've decided. This was the graph for it. It had a very complicated time interval, original time interval, create dynamic materials, and then go and do a bunch of different stuff here, depending on which one it is. And then each one has its own like timer system, and it does like a complex cooldown, not cooldown, timer, right? It's a whole thing. I've recreated nearly the entire thing. I think 90% of it in here. Just the new one, you can see, with the rounded corners and all that. Yeah, that's the whole setup here. That's it. Yep. Timer A, timer B, and that's it.
Damn.
Hey, you guys, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. So, you know, this one, the difference between this and this is one and only one thing, which is knowing what you want. 14 months, damn. Yeah, it's been a while. I appreciate it. Watched for a while without subbing, so who knows how long it's been. Well, I could say how long, right? Because I started March of last year. April, May, June. So that would put me, so that would be July, August, September, October. So about 4 months you weren't subbed for, roughly? Yeah. So 4 months you weren't subbed for, and 14 months you have, give or take. 17 months. March will be 2 years. There you go. Yeah, Skronak, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is a lot cleaner, isn't it? Looks nicer, it's cleaner. We'll swap it out later, but the main thing is I have gone ahead and besides all that, I have fixed my saving and loading of stuff. So this stuff gets carried over. So when I go to the boss, like it'll get saved. Yeah, good stuff. Almost 2 years and you haven't learned Unreal at all? Sucks to be dumb, Sag. I don't think you're dumb. I think you just haven't spent the time for it. Like, it's been 2 years, and how many hours have you spent trying to learn Unreal? Right? If you look at it, the amount of time you try to learn Unreal, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I didn't spend that much time, so for how much time you spent, you're like, okay, makes sense. Now, if you were to say that you spent 4 hours every single day, and then are like, oh, I haven't learned anything, okay, then maybe you have an argument, but that's not the case. 2 years of so many ups and downs, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, you'll learn it. You can always ask questions. No one ever does. Well, rarely people do, but you can always ask questions. Thought came in. Are you sure you want to put it out into the world? Thoughts can be dangerous. Do you know if it is possible to make circular progress bars without coding in C++, I mean? Circular in what sense? This is a clockwise wipe. This is quote-unquote circular. The only thing that's making this not a circle is the fact that this is not masked to a circle. Do you mean a circle that just happens to be masked as a circle? I'm not sure what you mean by circle. How specifically is it working in terms of circle? Is it supposed to be like a spiraling thing? But that's, I guess, it's still in a circle shape, but then it's a spiral. The answer to all of that is yes. You can do whatever you want. You can just make it a material. You can make a material that does whatever thing you want. You can make it do whatever. And you can mask it by whatever. Yeah. Because then you can put materials there. Hey, Blue Sneaker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Blue Sneaker, I have a question for you. Do you wear blue sneakers? Are your sneakers actually blue? I think the world needs to know this answer, this question. You like Sunday's video? I would hope you like all the videos. You should like them and make sure you leave a comment in every single video. And short. And post. Come on, you gotta be a proper good fan, right? That was your nickname in high school? What did you do with a blue sneaker to get yourself the name Blue Sneaker? Anyway. So at this point, I think the course of action for us is melee is done. Ranged, we only have one ability in here. I want to get all 4 abilities in. And then I want to start reworking the rest of all the icons to fit this setup. Because we have this. It's great. I should do the other ones. Smurf Cat Blue Sneaker was full nickname? Smurf Cat Blue Sneakers? No, don't know the reference. I do not know the reference. But that would be good to have a health bar like Diablo, so there's like a sphere and the XP bars circling around it. I mean, you just need to have a circle mask, and then it just goes up, and that's it. Just make a mask that is a circle, and then it's just a regular progress bar. He was dressed in blue, things escalated from there. As they do in high school. And nobody went with Blue Man Group, they went with blue sneakers? I mean, sure, I guess. The Smurfs are blue. Oh yeah, that was the show, right? Cartoon show thing. It was before Blue Man Group. Hold on a second. What? I'm not. I don't know if I believe you being that old. The Blue Man Group is older than me. If you Google, yeah, I don't know how old the Blue Man Group is. I've never seen them. I just know of them. The Blue Man Group was founded in 1987, which is older than me. And the Smurfs cartoon series? $1981. Which is also older than me, surprisingly. I know, right? Because this one's older than the other one. Let's see. Welcome to your high school years? Young punks. What do you mean? That is what you wrote. A unified message. Right there. See, it's right there. I don't do anything to these messages before they're posted. Let's mess with this kid's demographics on Twitch. No, let's not mess with anyone. No. Let's, though, take a look at this level. And then we can take a look at what next ability we're going to use. So we have 1, 2, 3. So I'm thinking that let's go with this one. It's gonna be a nice simple one. It's just oof. I could have them also have like ice buildup and stuff. I also need to figure out what I'm gonna do. Oh, that's for later. I'm also going to need to figure out some stuff with the explanations of the abilities. Also, there's this one and there's this one. Freeze crystal. Oh, freeze crystal ice. I'm gonna use this one, which is just the purple one, just to have something different. But let's go do some stuff. Okay, we're gonna need the player. Close everything else. Close it all. Yeah. Range hotbar 1. And then we plug in the Niagara system. I don't. Is it gonna be a delayed trace? Potentially. Let's see. We'll see. But here we need to do. No, we need the weapon. Data table. I have been thinking about swapping the weapon data table specifically for data assets. But only the data table for the weapons. Because the weapons one is specifically, you do not need to load the entire thing at all times. So, it's a thought. Okay, got that in. So now let's go here. Oh, need the icon. Okay, so we need to make the icon. Let's make the icon. Let's go ahead and here, let's do this. There we go. That's me.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Okay. I managed to get it. I got it. Nice. By the way, good guts. I don't know if you saw, the Discord got a bunch of emotes or emojis or whatever the hell they're called in Discord. Some that you might like. Load the things. Load it. This one? Yep. By the way, I mentioned it I mentioned it in all the social media places except Discord. Where I'm thinking not this weekend specifically, although, you know, if I manage to figure out by this weekend, that'd be great. I want to try to figure out a way of what's the best way of sampling the RGB value in BCG. So when I did the tutorial on the material filter, how to tell like what its material is of the thing below it, I want to get the pixel. No HLSL. No, that's we don't deal with that stuff here, Blue Sneaker. No, we don't do this coding nonsense. That's crazy talk. Non-coding. Your CPU will melt? Good. As a coder, I think that's well deserved. That's what all coders should get. You want to use RGBA masking for system? I use their input for PCG? No, you could already do that. You just use a texture sample. I meant that I want for every pixel to know the color of the texture below them. It can be virtual textures because that would be only available for landscapes. I want it to be for anything. Anything. I don't know how if it's gonna be possible, but I have ideas. Okay? I have ideas. I'm not gonna say they're good ideas, but I do have ideas. Let him cook? Yeah, let me cook. What am I cooking? Oh, not this. Pictures? Wait, where did I put it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, I got ideas. I'm not gonna say they're good ideas. Okay? I'm not gonna promise that I'll be able to do this. But I have an idea of how to do this that's theoretically possible. Now, Blue Seeker's computer will melt doing this, and it is gonna be definitely not for runtime. I'm gonna emphasize this now. The method that I have in mind will 100% not be for runtime. But direct every single pixel might be a lot to manage, but the average around an area might be a good thing. I mean, yeah, it could be that. But what I want to use it for, to be clear, would not work for an average, because what I want to do it is by knowing the value of the pixels, I can potentially find where the shadowed areas are compared to the areas in light, and mask an area to be masked by the lighting, basically. And doesn't that sound pretty cool? I think that's pretty cool. If I can get it to work. Hey, Don Salamanca. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. 4 each. What about it? This should be cooled down on like 30 seconds. Okay, so I think a couple of things. First of all, let's go into you. Turn on this. Because I'm pretty sure that the delay here on the trace is too long. What am I looking at here? Why is this flickering on and off? Why was it flickering on and off? Okay. If something similar you fiddle around with, not PCG, but more gameplay ability, you kind of want to become a shadow on the wall and have kind of platformer section with other shadows. No clue how to tackle that yet. I mean, that just sounds like you want to do a Paper Mario thing, right? Is that the one? Where you want goes from 3D to 2D? And then you play a 2D game, basically? Okay, a couple of things. First of all, I want this bigger. I think it's too small. We're making it bigger. It's 0.32. Let's make it 1. You want to utilize the shadows rather than the rather than wallpapers. So beforehand, you move objects to bring the shadow how you need it to solve the puzzle to reach other places. Okay, maybe too big. So I understand what you mean. Why they keep moving? Why is this still not fixed? Let's not have it be that big. Let's what if we just make it a little bit bigger than what it was? Something like that is not bad. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Let's just modify some stuff here. The damage scale will be lower. Let's say like 4. 5. Let's do 5. And the scale of the hitbox, I think, was pretty good, right? Yeah, they look pretty good, actually. I should increase the damage of this thing. Of the laser. It seems way too weak. Maybe just a little bit. Damage per second. So instead of 40 damage, 75? That seems way too high. Well, that's that. I mean, you are kind of stuck in a spot. Let's do 60. $50. We can always scale it. The monster gave you a bit of old school Doom vibes. Love it. That is one of the original 2D, like pure 2D actors that is from the Game Jam. The OGs. Some people might recognize them if they watch Cobra Code, because that's from him. Why do they not? Why do they move? Why? Why? Why do you move? Yeah. Okay, that looks good. So we have now ability number 2. Okay. So From there, we go to the next one. It's that easy to create a new ability when it's just going to be damaged right for now. I do want them to do something different. I do. I wanted this one to do something different, but I don't know what I could do with this one. I think I might want to do something very custom for this one, like specifically freeze enemies, or like target enemies specifically, potentially for this one. But like, if I was to freeze them in place, would I want them to be like invulnerable as well? I'm not sure. We'll do this one next. And I'll immediately scale this one. Okay. Top bar 2. Effect. Bam. This one's gonna be slightly different because this one needs to be potentially for longer. It's not a one, like maybe a one-time hit. So what I can do is have this start at 0. Have it be 8 frames with a delay on the start. We'll see how it goes. And for the effect, yep, got it in. Do the sprite characters have a character movement component as well? Yes. You can completely remove their ability to move, again, entirely with that one. Not sure if to do. Yeah, yeah. Mine do, because I use Paper CD. The problem with having them stop moving entirely is it wouldn't work on bosses, because it'd be broken as hell, and just doesn't seem right. In which case, I don't want to have an ability that just doesn't work on bosses. So what, just for bosses you have 3 out of 4 abilities? Well, the whole point of them is really to get to the boss and fight the boss. That's where you should have the most fun fighting. So I don't want to have it be something that just works for like just freezing enemies. So it has to deal damage, or it has to do something. I don't know. I need to think about it. It's not bad. It's not bad. Actually, let's make it smaller. I'll make it smaller but more powerful. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, so I will do 300 probably is what it's going to be roughly. Ooh, way too big. What happened? Oh, I modified the wrong one. Radius 350. This should be like, I don't know, 200. Yeah, that's the right size. So I think this one will be just more powerful, but more concentrated than this one. This is wider, will do less damage. Powerful, more damage. So let's do the damage on this one. Could be, so the other one's 5. This can be 8. It's fine. And cooldown wise, the ice one will have, I don't know, 25. I kind of want to make it shorter. Or do I want to reduce the damage on it, but have it just be more often? I kind of like that idea. Let's do like 15 seconds on it, and then I'll reduce the damage, actually. You'll do 4x. So it will do more damage if you use it over time, but it will do less damage if you miss, obviously. Ooh, the other thing... Here's the other thing with these abilities. They're at a certain range. They don't go off of where my mouse is. They're a set range. They're a set range right now because the controller version obviously doesn't have a mouse. It only has a direction, and then you press the button to attack. So it's not like you can... I feel like this one should be further away. That one's probably fine in range. And that one probably should be a little further away. So let's do, I don't know, 750. I'll move this one away as well. $750. Let's try this. That feels better. Better. Okay. I wasn't hitting. I gotta fix the laser. Okay, let's go with that for now. I might want to figure out some system that would allow more control, but that's for later. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. We'll leave that for later. For now, let's get in all of the attacks, and I'll do the icons at the same time for both. So it's this one. Just thinking. You know what I could use this one for? It could be a custom. I mean, again, I think it would need to be a custom one. Again, well, no, I was thinking like maybe auto-killing weak mobs. That's not very useful for regular mobs. And obviously wouldn't work for a boss. No. No, no, no. What could I do for this one? I don't want to do another just regular attack. I could instead I'm thinking maybe like spawning something that stays on the ground for a while. Like this, but it just stays on the ground. But no, it's just maybe stay on the ground. Is there a golden hue, fang title, spike
Ads
size?
Here. Pausing for ads.
Travel distance, travel time. I'll think about that and I'll be right back and get a drink. I'm back. You know what I could do? I could have these spikes appear at random spots around the player. So I could have this be just like they appear randomly. But the problem, how do you do that? What's a good way of doing that? Finding a random point within a range is easy. Sorry, finding a random point in range is easy because you can do it based on like navigation. There's like random point in range and random point in navigatable radius and stuff like that. But if you want to not be where the player is, because you don't want it to be like just right on the player, that was more difficult. It's a way of making this more interesting. I think we will go with this though. I'll just scale it up a little bit. And that. And let's set it up and then we go from there. You in. And yeah, I'll keep you as is for now. Let's go take a look. I mean, honestly, it's actually pretty cool just coming out super fast. And get rid of that delay. Delay is almost needs to be not be there. I feel like it should be closer. Let's make it closer. Not as big of a radius, but it'll do quite a bit of damage. So let's go with was it probably 300 area? The damage will do 10x. It'll be the most powerful hit. It's even less area. Oh, did I? What did I change? This wasn't the radius. Good job, mate. 50? Probably 200. What did I change? I don't know what I changed. Yeah, 200. I mean, it's pretty satisfying, I will say. Okay, let's go with that. And let's do 10x damage. So we need to change a couple of things. Let's turn off the trace, and let's get our icons. Let's get a review. Yeah. Um, cool. Got him. Okay, got you. I missed the other one, but that's fine. We'll get it. Yeah, well, there you go. I really need to turn off the brightness contrast in all of these because it just blows them out. But with the previous setup, it should look better that way, but now it looks worse. What? Oh, God, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, let's wait for it to cool down. If I miss it again, I'll change the cooldown. Aha! I got him. Ah, yes. Okay, let's just turn that off. Save. This is 2. Okay. I know I press Control C, Unreal. You don't have to freak out. It's gonna be okay. There. You gonna be okay? I'm only pressing Control Z. I don't know why you're freaking out. I didn't do that much. Change some materials and a visibility thing. There we go. Jesus. So what do you mean you changed visibility? Are you crazy? There we go. So now in here, we can plop you in here. No, you in here. And you in here. Cooldown on that attack will be, I don't know, 20. It's gonna be the most powerful one. But it is low radius, I don't know. We'll figure out the values down the line. I think it probably needs to be where, see, it's like you want it, if it does a wider area, you want it to do lower damage. But the time, how do you control the time? I haven't figured out yet. But thankfully that is all controllable. Only thing I don't have here is the damage scale. The damage still comes from the animate. It comes from here, which is how it's been set up always, because it's per animation. It's just, I added the weapon, like, visual stuff basically to the data table. Okay. So now, bam, look at that, all 4. Whack. Let's go try that one. Let's go trial them out. Cool. All the abilities are still here. Good. Ooh, yeah. The range is going to be interesting. Because you got to know the range. I think that one's a little too far. Let's try it with a controller. Let's try it with a controller. Cannot see. That hasn't been addressed yet. See, with a controller, I like. You know what I could do for a controller? Here's an idea I have of how do you make it work for a mouse setup and a controller setup. So for a mouse, right? If you have a character, right? For a mouse, you click here, it happens here. Cool. But for a controller, you don't have this luxury. One idea, of course, is to be like, okay, you need to hold the button down, and as you hold it, then a new cursor appears next to you. I don't like that, personally. I don't like the mice, 3D mice in World. What I could do, though, is let's say you have some enemies here. All right. Let's say you have some enemies. And I'm going to attack in... Your enemies. You read. And I'm going to attack in this direction. What I could do is figure out like do a trace in an area, or maybe do a trace in like starting from the player up to like an area, right? Like this. Get all of the locations of the mobs and either pick the closest one or target the average position. And I could maybe even have that be based on whether it's like a wide range attack or not. But I think what I'd want isn't, because this might offset it, you know, this way or this way. What I might want to do is find the average distance and then have it be spawned that distance away. That would be a complex setup to do, potentially. Because it would require me to work around my attacking system, doing like manual setup. You'll have to like beef that up, but it could be good. That's what you're doing right now, finding the closest actor. Have a compass that can show you. No, I don't want to find the closest enemy. This is for an attack. How do you target for enemies? So, for example, for This attack, this is a really wide attack. Where can I go? Go here. Actually, I don't block anything here. For this one, it's a really wide attack. So what I might do is get the average location of, or the average distance of enemy. Ooh, no, distance wouldn't work. Distance wouldn't work. Because distance this way, right, is longer than distance here. Because that's how triangles work, right? That's how triangles work. Which means I would overshoot potentially if if this was the distance I got. So maybe it is going to need to be closest in that range. But then the wider AoE ones would be worse. A visual indicator that will show the impact area. It's for a controller. I'm not going to have it just be always visible. And I don't want to have it be a spot on the ground that the player is used to like control. I just want to be able to run, press a button, use the attack, and it hits the right place. So I'd rather have it be automatic in that regard. I think fiddling with controller, like mouse type movement, I've always never liked. Hey Elba, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. So closest actor is an easy one, yes. That is the simple solution. But then I need to figure out what to do about the one that has a large AoE. Right? Because let's say you have a large AoE one and you do closest actor and you attack here, right? It doesn't get this and all of this area is wasted. Right? Especially if it's like at the ground level, right? It'd be like only hits these two. Versus if you got in the middle of all of them. Maybe that's what I do. I say screw it to the left to right problem. I just have my trace will just not be that wide, where I would care that it moves too far left and right, and then it would pick the average spot of them, or the closest one depending on my control. I'm doing all right, Elba. Yeah, I think that'll be the setup. Okay. Well, step one would be to have this work with the mouse. You saw my show about moving the splash screen in Unreal? Nice. And what'd you think? Let's set up the mouse control. Turns out it's not on 5.2 or it's something relatively new. Oh, really? I mean, it's possible. I just did it on this. I'm in 5.6, obviously. But I clicked it by accident. That might be the reason why I didn't know about it. It's very possible. Very possible. Maybe I have clicked it on by accident before, but it's not been movable. Then could very well be. So for the attack information, I need to... Ooh. For the... Let's start with the Nagris, spawning of the Nagris system. I can put myself here. Let's start with spawning the Nagris system where the mouse position is. Instead of here. Get common UI input subsystem. Get current input type. Switch. So instead of this, in there, we do this for now on gamepad. Keyboard and mouse. Let's do get it's not mouse. It's not get position under mouse. It's pointer. No. What's it called? Cursor? Yeah, get head result under cursor for objects. Don't care about this. And then we can check if it is valid. And I need to also check that it's going to be within like a certain distance, but we'll deal with that later. Then let's do a break. So location, then we need to do a... This got disconnected. Let's do... one of those. And then we do set world location. And here it should do this one. So let's start with that. Setting up a custom splash screen for your project is pretty neat. It gives a nice touch when opening the header. Yeah, that's why I do it. Because I know I'm immediately opening up that specific project. Okay, that looks good. That looks very good. So if I do it all the way there, there we go. That works. Okay. It even works on top. Okay, so that part works. But I need to... I want to make it so you can't just do it infinite distance away, just because you can see it there. I need to make a max distance. So what we can do is check if the distance is greater than going to a variable spawnable distance. This is going to be under category. Spawning. I don't know. Let's put that for now. We'll set it to be for now 3,000. Okay. If it is within 3,000, it will do this. If it is, if it is less than 3,000, it will do the regular spawning. If it is more than that, so it's too far away, what I probably want to do is get the distance. I can get the impact point and get the distance to the how do I find a specific distance in between two actors? If I have the position of two actors and I want to know what is 1,000 units to that actor, but then do I want to also include I probably want to also include verticality. So I could just do a line trace from the character to the impact point that is 3,000 units in length.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
And then line trace down, and I have the position. I think that's the math on that. Because I think I do want to take into consideration verticality. Now, what if there's nothing there? What if you're trying to put it over the edge? If it does that, then it will do... And then it's fine. Then it'll be over the edge. Would that be the same? This is all for keyboard. This is all for mouse control. We're not doing controller yet. This is just mouse control first. Because basically what I want is to not be able to go past a certain point. So if it is greater than this, we do a line trace for objects. It is going to start with... Why do I have this cast here? I don't need this cast here. Uh, this here now. Okay. You find the distance, then look at the length of the normal to Z. Look at the length of the normal. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Look at the length of the normal to Z. That is the height. What? What I'm doing is character here. I've told it to spawn something here, but the distance right is too far. So I'm going to trace from my character to this point a certain distance that he's allowed to spawn at as a radius, and then I'm not gonna line trace, but I'm basically going to get this distance, and then I'm going to line trace from above it down, so that way I know what static mesh I hit here in this column, and whatever it'll be in this column is what it's gonna be. I think that's my plan. If I try to shoot over, I don't know if this is gonna be this is the best idea, but it's what it's the one I came up with. So, so I need to. Well, I am going to need to do a trace down. Do I need to do a trace down? No, right? No, because I can do find forward vector. Find look at rotation. From the character to the impact point. And then from the rotation, we get the forward vector. Forward vector will be multiplied by the maximum distance they can go. And then we do a plus and a minus for the start and the end. So it'll be from 3,000 units above to 3,000 units below. I don't. Probably too high of a range. 2,000. And then, if it does not hit anything, at all, at that location, then it is just going to do the default here. Oh, sorry, not this one. Gonna do this one. Which is our kind of built-in offset. Would the line trace not know what it hit? Well, it would know if it hit a static mesh. If there's no static mesh within this range, then there's nothing for it to There's no ground there. But theoretically, it's in the air. Like, you positioned it, like, way off the map. Or something like that. Which it can attack off the map. Like, if this potentially could hit off... I could trigger it off the map, which is fine. But if there is ground, I want it to be on the ground. So if it does find it, then spawn it there. Okay. Let's see if what I did made any sense. If I do it here, it spawns here. If I do it way out there, right, way the, oh, I'm so way in the corner here. Where did it just spawn? I heard it. Where was it? Because it wasn't where I was thinking. What? That's not right. That's not right. Hold on. For duration, please. Oh, spawnable distance is 3,000. Hold on, let me reduce the spawnable distance. That might be the problem. Okay, so why is it there? Why is it in, like, in this direction? Excuse me? Excuse me, what? Instead of this, let's just do get actor rotation, forward vector, which is different than get actor forward vector, because that does not always match the rotation. Why is it here? Pretty sure this is 0, 0, 0, right? Yeah, this is 0, 0, 0. What? Oh. Oh, I'm an idiot. How do we do line traces? Yes, it's forward vector times what you want, and then add to location. There we go. So now if I do too far, Okay, well now that's not working. Why is that not where my... So this is working now. Oh wait, this is not right. I'm using the wrong distance. Wrong distance. Calculate or distance vector. 2D plays. Thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thanks for using Twitch Prime here. It's from here to the character location. That's the distance. Because the distance was off the trace, which is irrelevant for what I was checking. I need to do this distance and check if now the distance to the player is less or equal to spawnable distance, and then if it's true, then nope, other way. If it is greater than the spawnable distance, then it does all the other computations. Okay. Okay, it looks good. And then if I do it right next to me, if I do it too far, so if I was to do it way too far, like in this direction, through a wall. Okay, I need to do a little less distance through a wall. Yeah, it will spawn it on top now. That's what I wanted. Instead of spawning it, like, because the distance-wise, I don't want it spawning right in the ground. Okay. Looking good. Okay, so that's all done. Let's clean this up. Mouse impact point. Well, if I didn't hit anything, how would there be an impact point here? Oh, no. That's fine. That's fine. It's all correct. I did it correct. I was looking at the wires wrong because this used to be. Let's put it here. Hey, Leo, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm setting up something similar, similar in what needs to be done in terms of what you were doing just last week, which is mouse versus keyboard attack stuff. So if I have an attack, I can now use my mouse and I can just place where it is. But if I go way too far, it will place it at the maximum range. So I can place it right on top of me if I want here, right? Or but if I go too far, it's max range. And this also works like through for walls and things of that nature. They'll put it on top. So, because that is the max range from to the point where you've wanted it. It takes the max distance up to there and does a trace down. But for controller, I'm doing something different. What I'm gonna do is this, which is I'm going to get all of the enemies in a sphere radius, and I'm going to control how wide that radius is. And then I'm going to have the option per ability to either pick the closest enemy, if I want to just hit whatever is the closest, or if it's a big AoE, I might set it to be hit in the average position of them. Right? So basically, hey, there's a group of mobs, just AoE. So that way, there's no cursor position, because I didn't want that. Because I mentioned, like, when I was talking with you, that I don't like those. And so it'll automatically pick basically best position. Not technically, but it'll try to do its best. So I'll either hit the closest or average, depending on what I tell it to. That's our plan. Oh yeah, and this needs to be also not guaranteed to do this at all times. I need to do this on certain abilities only, not always. So what I need to do is I collapse this to a function, right? Set default location. And then we can do here, which is because obviously we need to know if it is controller, player specified positioning. Obviously, we don't want to do this for all the melee stuff. So you'd have to specify per ability to choose closest or average location, because there might be some cases where the average location doesn't hit anything. No, because I'm also going to have it only be in a because of this. I'm doing a sphere trace. So if the ability, let's say, was really narrow, I just wouldn't do a wide sphere trace where I wouldn't be able to get those in an average. So my trace would never be wider than the ability. That makes sense? So that way, if I got the average, I should be able to hit pretty much everyone. And I can always reduce that range or increase that range for an average. Closest, obviously, same thing. We just pick the closest one. That's the idea I just came up with. Why can I not name it what I wanted it? Uh-huh. Put a space in it, it's fine. What? Excuse me? Oh, you son of a gun. It won't let me do a global variable on this in here? Why not? Fine. Fine, you jerk. Fine, we'll do it your way. Now what's the problem? A modified state cannot be called self because it's... Oh. It doesn't like functions. Const? That was the problem with this. It just doesn't like all these things. Let's just double check that it works. You know what? Let's just... I just do this. Because it really does not like what I'm doing. Where's the problem? Yeah, you. Where are you still being used? Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. We weighted average, not just average center point distance, but which enemy has the most enemies around. No, no, that's not how it was gonna be. Because the distance isn't gonna be massive. You're not gonna be attacking, doing this across the map. So it's not like you're gonna have a cluster of enemies, gap, and then another cluster of enemies. That's just not gonna happen. The distance is not gonna be that long. Because I don't think it's gonna be that long. Mouse, based. You code it to just have it, you could code it in just to have it. Oh, like for multiple packs? No. I'm not like you. I do not. If I don't need something, I'm not putting it in. Oh, it's no reason to. I don't plan that being the use case, so there's not my style. If I decide that later on, I'm like, you know what, I actually do want it that way, then yeah, I'll put it in. But not till then. But cool, we now have, let me just double check. These should all still work the same as before. Yep. So these are not affected. Oh, and for the ranged ones, though, because we now have this checkbox, let's go to our range attacks. And for each one of these, I need to turn on... spawning. Then turn on this player specified positioning, and there's a spawn distance. Now, I'll probably want to put that calculation...
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
...into a blueprint function library. I probably want to put this in a blueprint function library because I'm going to need to reuse this. You're progressing with your C++ version, so it's going well. Nice. Does that mean you've effectively started over? Or have you actually retained some stuff? Look, I got a pink brush. The barber that I went to gave this to me for free. I mean, I say for free because I always give generous tips to my barber because the guy's awesome. He does a good job. And I don't come very often, to say the least. I mean, you guys saw how long my hair was before. And he's like, no, like, take this at least. I'm like, okay, fine. And it was a pink, shitty, like, hairbrush. It was Japanese. It has no markings on it itself, but it came in a Japanese box. I'm like, okay, sure. Let's put this into a function library. I had the idea of having multiple function libraries, and then I never made multiple function libraries. Mouse position or mouse trace with max position. Now let me see what Oh, I might not be able to do this as a function library because I have plenty of places where they have false and clip that. Nice. Throw it into the Discord because the links don't work in chat. But I appreciate for clipping that. Yeah, there's too many false. I mean, I can do. It would need to be a macro if anything. That one's very much specifically for. Nice, thank you. What do I look like? I want to see my weird self. Look, it's like a cap. Okay. No function library. That's fine. Let's get the trace to also follow this though. So I need. Oh boy. So this trace attack that does all of this stuff. Well, this would be a. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. How the hell do we do this? So this multi-trace has all our current configurations, which you do want. The only difference is we need to control the start location. So what we need to do is here, right? We still want to do our specific positioning, player specified positioning. So we still want to do this, and I'll put it inside of the same group. Well, I guess it's not spawning anymore. Player position. Sure. So let's just start. So if it is not player positioned, then it will do its normal stuff. As it has been before. If it is player positioned, it's gonna go here. And then go here. And we don't need to do this add local offset or anything like that. That's not gonna be a thing. So let's remove that for now. Okay. Create a local variable of this. Any complaints? Yes. Spawnable distance. I'll set that to be 1,000 by default as well. Oh, and then we don't want to do this either. Okay, so what we want to do is basically save the location of this. So promote this to a local variable. This is going to be our player positioned location. And it also will be where's the impact point here? So if the distance is fine, then it'll obviously just return impact point of this. And then if it fails in all scenarios, then it should use the default values. In which case, what it's going to do is actually set the spawning here to be false. So don't use this information. Which means same thing here. If it did not hit anything with the trace, set it to be false. We're using the default values. Okay. And then what we do here is actually do a sequence. So if player specified positioning is true, it's going to do this, and then it's going to continue down the line. So theoretically, as long as it goes here under keyboard, it'll be fine. Under controller, for now, we'll just disable it. But then we should get the player positioned location. Okay, so then here, for the location here, we just need to use another select. Based on whether it is enabled. If it is not, then we're obviously going to be using what we have before. And if it is enabled, then we're using the player positioned location. Okay. That seems good to me. Let me just double check that I don't need it anywhere else. I don't believe so. Nope. Okay. So the trace should not follow. So if we go and actually turn on the trace, right now, it will not follow the location because we haven't enabled it, but let's confirm. If I put it over here, it does not line up. If I put it right on top of me, it does not line up. Okay. Because it is not following the location. If we go to these attacks now and I turn on player specified positioning. Why don't I have the spawnable distance? Oh, it's this crap again, where it's the space in the group name. So I put it in a different spot. There it goes. So it's on there. Turn it on there. Okay. So now, if I put it somewhere else, why? Okay, why are you like this? Where do we mess up? Where do we mess up? It should have been impact point is true. And the distance should have been fine. It did not print anything. Why did you not print anything? Does it go here at all? No. Excusez-moi. Oh, why is it off now? Oh my god, did I put it... I literally put it on the wrong one. That's what I did. I put it on the melee ones. Good job, me. I'm gonna blame the fact that I always do this after work, and I'm clearly very tired, as you can tell. My mind is just not there. I was even wondering why there's 4 of those. Or 5 of those. On one of them. Excuse, et moi. Good job, mute. Welcome to Dark Dragon. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so now if I place it on me, just confirm. Hold on, it was triggering, right? Not crazy. Yeah. What's happening is I'm doing all of this should not be here. This should be here. And it also should be on the end as well. It's a single point. Because otherwise I was offsetting it. You're a bit moist, but good. Oh my. 1.5 hour walk so far on the treadmill. Nice. I like this so far. There we go. Ta-da! And we go too far. It's still fine. Yay! I did it. Look, Ma, I did it. Yeah. So now I can put it wherever my mouse desires, up to a certain range. Good. Okay. So now, can I clean this up at all? Is there any way for me to clean this up? Just out of curiosity. Make it a little cleaner. Embrace the spaghetti. No, I do not embrace the spaghetti. I'm not Italian. I may be originally from Europe, but I'm not Italian. It must be cleaner. At least a bit. Damn it. It's better. It's better. And then... let's do that. Okay, I mean, it's better. I don't love it still, but it is better. I'm an artiste, but I also like to min-max, so it must be packed accordingly. Oh, looks fine, looks fine. Okay, but we did it. We now have full mouse control. Next thing is to add controller support. So right now, if I use any of these abilities, they're at a set length, right? They all work with a controller, but they're at a set length. So our next job is to set it up with The controller. Okay. Let's start with the ability. Let's start with the effect. Yep. Start the effect. So we're gonna start with doing a multi-sphere trace by channel for characters, and if it fails on hitting anything, it'll just go here. The location will be the actor's location. And the end location will be, well, it's forward vector. And spawn distance, plus that, all this stuff. Yeah, actor rotation. As a reminder, the reason I'm not using get actor forward vector is because the rotation and the forward vector are not tied. If you, on a single tick, rotate your character 180 degrees, your forward vector will not necessarily immediately go there as well. It has like it smoothly turns versus snaps, from my experience. So I just wanted it to be the exact rotation of the character because I do that a lot. I just said the rotation of the character because it's a sprite. It's fine. So it's going to do that. The radius is going to be I need a new thing. I need a variable. This is going to be the spawning check radius. Don't ask me how to call that one. I'll set it to be for duration. So it is going to check for characters, and I'm just going to, for now, both will just return here. Okay. So a couple of things. I need to start it half of the radius size forward, I guess. I mean, I guess it could check behind me. That's fine. If I'm surrounded and I want to hit it at melee range, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. Let's set the default, though, a lot smaller, because we don't have anything that big anyway. And also, let's turn off the debug for you. So for regular attack, we don't get it, but now for a different attack, we do. Great. Now we are hitting ourselves. Make a aim. A character reference here, so we don't hit ourselves, because we should not be part of that calculation. Okay, there we go. Good. So if we do hit something, let's go for each loop. Hey, Pangman, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. It's coming along. You know, I think it's getting better and better. Slowly but surely. Do I think I can put a percentage on it? No. Not really. I could probably put a percentage to early access / Kickstarter, not to final. I think to early access / Kickstarter, it's like halfway, roughly. And Excel sheets, I mean, that's, you know, that's being generous. I have a Google Sheet that I don't update very often. Most of it is just I feel. Okay, let's go with so we want to get all the impact points and combine them, or I guess it depends on what we're doing. So we want
Ads
to
are
add
here. Pausing for ads.
Closest impact. Let's have that be a option. And then we go from there. Do you feel like if you were more organized on what you needed to do, you'd be more productive, or can you not work that way? I don't feel not organized. It's just I work by what I it's my own project. And I'll explain after that, just in case. You're on Twitch. Ads are almost over anyway. Gotta give it a moment. Give it a moment. Okay, that's done. So to answer the question, do you feel like if you were more organized on what you need to do, you'd be more productive, or can you not work that way? I don't feel I'm not organized in terms of what I need to do, because I'm making a lot of progress all the time. For me, I like to work on whatever I want to, because I am doing it all solo. My enjoyment of working on this is more important to me than being correct or doing this in the best way. Because in the end of the day, if I lose interest, the entire project falls apart. Right? Simple as that. So my main thing isn't doing it the best way possible, or the most productive way possible, or the way it should be done. It's the way that I enjoy working on it the most, because that will get me to the finish line. And for me, that happens to be just work on what you feel like. I currently feel like working on these abilities, so that's what I'm doing. Over the weekend, I felt like working on a little bit on the UI stuff, so I did that. I can just jump around. Would a list help me keep organized? No, because I'm constantly changing what I'm working on anyway. And as having a giant list will just demoralize me because like I know there's a ton to do. But it's not concerning for me at the current moment in time. So I don't need to look at it. Out of sight, out of mind. Hope that explains things. I'm a simple person. Let's do... We need to store the impact point. Or, you know what I can do? Oh, let's add local offset. No, we could do... We need to do set world position. I can set the world position a couple of times. It's a single frame. Hopefully it's fine. Nah, I'll just store the location and then put it on the final. Let's do... Oh, actually, I don't want to do impact point. I want to do the hit actor. I guess it doesn't matter. Hit actor would be better. And I would need to trace down anyway. In both scenarios. So let's do actors in player spawnable area. And then this will be an array. And you know what? We'll just get them all first. And then we can do whatever you want after that. Get all the actors. And it's local, so I don't need to clear it every single time, which is great. And then when it's done, then we have the adjacent closest impact point. So if it is the closest impact point, for each loop, get actor location, and we get the actor location of the character. Do a distance. And then promote this to a local variable. This is going to be closest distance. And closest distance by default will be far. I mean, let's just not get carried away with the values. That's fine. I went overboard with how many nines I put in there. It's like, no, too high, too high. So we can check that if this is less than this distance, which the first time will definitely be, then store the distance and store the location. As the mouse impact point. If it's not, then it's not going to do it. So in the end, we have the mouse impact point. Closest enemy. At the end here, we have the mouse impact point set to whatever we need. And so then we just do set world location to the mouse impact point. And that's all. Okay. And then if it is not the closest, it's the average. Go through all of them. Get actual location. And then we just add to the mouse impact point. Which then gets set back to the mouse impact point, right? So we just keep adding to it. And then when it's done, we take the mouse impact point and divide it by the length of this. So if we had 2, then we'll divide by 2, which will then get set back to the mouse impact point. And then we just need to do the same thing we did here. And plug that in. Mouse impact point, again, is a local variable, so we don't even need to reset it. It'll reset automatically. Automagically, if you will. So this is the average enemy location. The only downside to this, is it does not do the trace down. Which I forgot about. So what we need to do is okay, we can adjust for that. We can adjust for that without doing a trace. When we do get actor location and we store that, we can do get the half height. To get the half height, and then we can do a subtract here. Subtract the half height in Z and set that. So that will take care of you without tracing. You, though, because you are the average, will need to definitely trace because you could be at different elevations. One thing to say about Gasifar, the initial setup is a bit jarring, but everything else is in blueprints. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. You have set up every single attribute that you want to use. So, question for you, now that you're using Gas. Does it use data assets for everything? And can you not use data assets if you didn't want to? It's gonna be from the impact point down. Let's say, I mean, it shouldn't need to go that far. Let's do 1,000. Better safe. Sorry. Because I already found, because it could be in the air. Right? Yeah, there's a chance it could be in the air, so it doesn't hurt to do longer, really. Hey, how does Oni? Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You're not sure? Haven't reached that point as yet? You don't think you're in that verse to give an educated answer? That's fine. That is perfectly fine. If we fail here and we don't hit anything for whatever reason, then what I want to do is get a random one, get actor location, and then have height. As a fallback in case for some reason something fails. Then we have the impact point, and then we do so location of that. But assuming it succeeds, which it should, you assume it does, but most of the gameplay, etc., are you object with some minor modifications? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That they're just as an object type. You can't do like alternatives. But I figured I'd check. Time manages. Yeah, it is very good. It is very good. So from here, right? It has found it. It has hit. So we need to do a line trace. So I guess all we need to do is get the impact point. Set it right. That's all we need. Because we already did all the complicated part. This is tracing down onto the ground. We're all static. Okay. Hey, One Life, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I don't know that game. No? Did it come out recently? What is it? What is it? You're assuming you can probably modify the base gameplay ability object in code to expose any variables. Oh no, I meant like if you didn't want to use gameplay objects in general, like you want it to be like a function based or some other system instead of object. I'm like, or is it just you have to use the object system? Because depending on what you're doing, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't love the object system because I just don't love having so many actors in my content browser, but that's why I was curious. It's baseball? Oh, then no. When this is real world stuff, then I live in the digital age. It's on the computer that it's dead to me. It's dead. Dead, I tell you. Okay, this should work. So if we go to our attacks, this won't change the positioning of the trace yet, but it will of the attack itself. So the first one is area. The second one should be closest, I think. Third one, area for sure. Fourth one, closest. Yay, sports go sports, round things, slapping balls. Woo. You remember knowing what baseball was? Because you played a C64 baseball game when you were 5. I have no idea what that means, but congratulations, I think. I'm not going to pretend to know at all what you're talking about. So I'm going to say congratulations. Commodore 64 game. Oh, is that what C64 means? Commodore 64 would kind of maybe make sense for C64. That's before my time. Surprisingly enough. Okay, let's test. If I do this, controller, that works. I feel like I should have hit more enemies. Okay, let's try controller. So if I did... Oh, that didn't seem right. Okay, where is it spawning? Where is it spawning that effect? What happened here? What happened here? Draw. Neonatal did? Okay. That's a feature, not a bug. I don't know about that one, Chief. And, like, that looks good, right? Right, that looks good. Okay, it's at 000. Why is it 000? Did I do the stupid mistake again? No, I'm getting actual location here. I'm not doing a trace. What's going on? I sure need to reset it because it's a local variable. Even if I need to reset it, I'm still replacing it. So in either case, it shouldn't need anything. Wait. Hold on. It didn't print anything. Did I do stupid? Did I do stupid here? I did stupid. I found the problem. I did stupid. I got these got these flipped. Found the problem. There we go. Beautiful. That works. That works. Okay. So obviously, the actual attack is not happening in the right place still, but the abilities now is kind of averaging, closest. And yeah, it works. So the hit locations need to be adjusted because that is just the effect moving. So once we get the hit locations moved in tomorrow's stream, we'll be all good. I should put my laugh as a sound effect on FAP? No. If you want to hear my laugh, you can join the stream at any time. So apparently distance squared is faster. What? I mean distance squared is faster. I'm not sure what you're referring to. To do what? Then base distance node. What do you mean faster? Like more performance somehow? That wouldn't make sense. Because the distance squared would need to get the distance anyway, and then square it. But at that point, like, I don't think those numbers are very big one way or another in terms of like that's optimizing to the two. That's too far. Would that be an option? That depends if they're funny. Which probably there wouldn't be because I'd actually be working. At work, I don't laugh this much. When I'm having fun, I'm doing my own stuff. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm having a blast. This is what happens when you work on your own projects and you enjoy it. You have a good time. It's great. Highly recommended. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight though, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow for some more game dev. We'll finish up setting the actual attack trace for the controller, which is gonna be great. I didn't think it was gonna be that fast to set all this up, but we did in what, half a stream? It's pretty good. And yeah, we'll wrap it up tomorrow. We'll have a full keyboard and full mouse and controller support for the system, which is awesome. Love it. Leo probably already has it built. He's using gas, but yeah, I like my own system. I get to figure things out. It's fun. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye bye.